Imagine working 5 months every single year for free. You wake up, grind, commute, graft your ass off, yet almost half your income disappears before you even touch it. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. The tax system wasn't designed for you. It was designed by the top 1% for the top 1%. And today I'm going to expose one of the most powerful, legally used wealth strategies on the planet. A strategy millionaires and billionaires use every single day. The buy, borrow, die strategy. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how the rich pay less tax than their secretaries and how you can start structuring your wealth the same way. Why your salary is the most taxed income. Most people earn money in the single most punishing way possible, a salary. And salaries in the UK get smashed harder than anything else. Well, apart from body blow. Anyway, if you're earning 50k to 150k, you're doing really well. But the problem is you're paying 40% to 45% income tax plus national insurance on top, meaning the first 5 months of every single year, January to May, you're effectively working for HMRC, not for yourself. And many people don't even realise how brutal it is because the tax is taken before they even touch the money. Now, I'm not a tax expert, but I do get around hundreds of other investors in my private school community. And we're all trying to be as tax efficient as possible. If you're interested, the link can be found below. The hidden tax, stealth tax. The government doesn't even need to raise taxes to take more money from you. They just freeze the tax brackets. Inflation goes up, your wages go up a little bit, but the tax thresholds stay frozen, meaning every pay rise quietly pushes you into a higher tax bracket. You feel like you're earning more, but you're actually keeping less. This stealth tax drags millions into higher tax bands without them even noticing. Now, I'm 100% not a financial advisor, as you can probably tell, and this isn't financial advice, but I do like to help as many people as possible with my 25 years investing experience. If you need a bit of help, subscribe to the channel and I'll do my very best to help you with my simple investing videos. How every pound you earn gets taxed to death, and it doesn't stop at income tax. You get taxed when you earn, when you spend, when you drive, when you buy food, when you buy a house with stamp duty. When you sell a house, you're paying capital gains tax, and when you die, inheritance tax. You even get taxed on money you've already paid tax on. This is why most people never escape the 40-40-40 trap that I heard about when I was doing a bit of property training with Simon Zucchi and his PIN network. Work 40 hours for 40 years and give 40% of everything you earn away. I know when our working life is put like that, it's brutal. But wealthy people, they don't play this game at all. How the rich really make money. The rich don't pay themselves as big salaries. In fact, many millionaires pay themselves less than like £12,000 per year because it's tax-free. Instead, they use other people's money to buy assets. They borrow, buy assets, deduct the interest as expenses, let inflation grow the value of the assets, and they don't sell anything because selling equals tax. This is where the real magic starts. Real example, turning 200k into 400k tax-free. As I mentioned earlier, I've done some property networking and training, and this was from 2019 to 2022. In that time, I met many investors who've done really well in property. And I learned about different case studies when I'd done some of the property training with PIN and Simon Zucchi. Here's a little case study. In 2014, a property in Birmingham was bought for £200,000. Most of that money wasn't personal cash. £150,000 was borrowed from the bank. Years later, and the property is now worth £400,000. Does that mean 200k profit? No, not until you sell. And wealthy people don't sell. Instead, they do something smarter. They refinance, borrowing 75% of the new value, so that would be £300,000. This lets you pay off the old mortgage, pocket £150,000, completely tax-free, because loans aren't income. Then what? Use that tax-free money to buy more assets. That's how wealth snowballs. Buy, borrow, die explained. Simply. Here's the whole strategy in one sentence. Buy assets, borrow against them, never sell, die with debt. Why borrow? Because loan money equals tax-free money. Inflation makes your debt shrink over time. Asset prices rise. Your tenants or customers pay pay the interest, not you. Poor people want to be debt-free. Rich people want to be asset-rich. Debt attached to appreciation. Appreciating assets is not a burden, it's a weapon. Let me know what you think of this strategy below that's been adopted by the rich or has been adopted for decades. Let me know in the comments below. How billionaires use this strategy. Elon Musk bought Twitter with borrowed money, not income. He didn't sell Tesla stock, which would trigger tax. He borrowed against it. Richard Branson, he didn't sell his island. He borrowed against it to fund Virgin. Adele, worth over 200 million, but still took out a mortgage to buy a £50 million home because it's smarter and more tax efficient. This isn't a loophole. This is the playbook. And if the super rich can do it, why not me and why not you? But what about all that debt when you die? Here's the final part of buy, borrow, die. You die with debt. Your assets get passed down through trusts or companies. Inheritance tax can often be reduced or even eliminated with proper planning. The rich don't fear debt. They use debt to get richer. Now, you can learn all about trust, etc., but personally, I think this is where you probably need to speak to some form of retirement planning expert. And that definitely is not me, as I said earlier. The moment everything changes. Once you start building wealth, a whole new world opens up. Specialist accountants, tax planners, lawyers, advisors, people who can legally structure your wealth to minimise tax and maximise growth. This is where the rich really separate themselves. This is where your network becomes really important. For now, if you're just starting to think about investing, focus on education and long-term investing, as your wealth is going to build over years. Start thinking about retirement planning now and how you can be as tax efficient as possible. It's not about avoiding tax. Like, I'm happy to pay my fair share of tax, to pay for the NHS, the armed forces, and all of the other things many of us take for granted here in the UK. I just don't want to pay more tax than I have to. Summary. Tired of being squeezed by taxes? If you want to escape the 40-40-40 trap, if you're ready to use the same systems the wealthy have been quietly using for decades, then now is the moment, your time. Click the link below and you can join my private investing community on Skool, where you can get around hundreds of other investors who are building wealth. Now, as I've said a couple of times, I'm not a tax expert. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do have a lot of investing experience. And I know how you can pay less tax by the way you invest. And if you want to know exactly how, see below for a recent video.